Hello. Welcome to the video. My name is Anmol, and today I am going to talk about how you should approach the whole LLM modeling in CAD. So, to give you a bit of a background, I am a software developer and I created this Grasshopper plugin called Ant. You can also see it on my desktop. This is basically a chat interface through which you can interact with LLMs to create your Grasshopper definitions. If you haven't checked it out, you can see my previous videos where I execute entire Grasshopper workflows using Ant. But in today's video, I want to talk about something more generic. And it doesn't only relate to Ant or Grasshopper, but in general, any LLM tool that helps you generating definitions or modeling in any CAD platform. So the main thing that I want to stress out is that you should not hand over the creative process to the LLM, but instead use LLM for doing all the heavy lifting. So I will explain you with an example. Today, we will create a structure as shown in this image. This is basically an aperture where this is an iris structure and these are the lids, and they can open and close and the aperture size will vary according to that. Now I will generate this iris structure with in two ways. In the first one, I will just prompt the LLM to create it for me. But in the second situation, I will take the LLM step by step on how it has to create it. So in that, I will have the whole decision making with myself. So let's start. Okay, so in this attempt, what we will do is that we will try to generate the iris mechanism in one go, and we will just prompt the LLM to do it. So I've pasted the image that I just showed, and I will just prompt it to okay, let's see. I want a C# script here. 6 is fine, but geometry, surfaces, okay, sure. Okay, so it was able to generate something. Let's see exactly how this works. Okay. So it was able to generate the blades, and it's working honestly, the aperture mechanism, but not what we wanted. Okay. So yes, so this is a very good example to show you why you should not do a one-shot solution, because here, even if it was able to do what we wanted, even then I would not recommend doing such a thing, because you don't know the logic behind how this is working. So how these inputs are creating these outputs. This is a very simple case, and here you can easily visually verify whether changing any parameter is working as expected. But in complex models, you need a very tight control over how one parameter makes a change to your overall model. So in that case, I would recommend you to do it step by step, which is the next way of working that I'll show you now. And here we will just start easy, create a circle. Yes, here we want to have it at centered 0, 0 by radius and an XY plane. Yes, that's fine. Okay. Yes, that was nice and easy. It created a circle. Now we will progressively build step by step on this. So now I have the circle. Now I want to create a polygon inscribed in it. So I already have the prompt ready, and I've also included that I want to scale and rotate the polygon. And I have selected the circle component as context, as you can see. So all the selected components act as context for the LLM for that specific message. So it already knows that it has to build on this circle component. Let's see. Okay, so it did generate something. It created a polygon, then it scaled it and it rotated it. Yeah, seems fine. Um, and I think we can also scale it. Yes, and the rotation angle and also the sides. Yeah, I think this is what we wanted. Now I want to get the corner points of these of this polygon. So I'm just gonna write that, select it and write it, and let's see. Okay, yeah, that was quite easy. It just exploded it, I think, yeah, and we get the corner points. Now we'll go to the next step. This is a little tricky step because what we want now is that with each point on the polygon, we want to go to the next point and we want to create a line that goes indefinitely. So after that, we will trim the lines at the with the circle, and then we will get the whole iris mechanism. So let's go ahead. I've already written the prompt. I have explained it what to do, and let's see how it performs. So you see here that instead of just trying to one-shot the whole solution, I am working with the LLM provider, and I want to generate this definition in steps because even I have an idea of how this is being built. So tomorrow, if I change any parameters or do any parametric modeling, then I know how the logic is working. I can't rely on visual evidence all the time. So it's nice if you can build it step by step with the LLM. Okay, yes, that was exactly what we wanted. So it has created these lines which are going from one point to the other and extending it. Now what we want is we want to trim these lines with the circle boundary. So let's just ask it to do that. And now I know that for this, I want to select the lines and the circle. I don't need anything else. So I'll just select the circle component and the line component. And I will just say, trim the lines with the circle boundary. Okay, so it generated this definition, and I think I need to set off the preview for the rest. Yes. So we see that in the final output, we have these lines and it has been trimmed. So we have these line segments now. So we already see that these are the aperture blades now. And yeah, and I think we can still control all of this with the with these input parameters. So if I want to scale, yeah, so this is basically the aperture mechanism that we see, and it's working quite well, I would say. Yeah, you can also rotate it to have it here like that. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so you see that we tried to do the same thing with two different ways, and in the second way you were involved in the design process. This is a very simple example, and here you can also visually just see that if the one shot solution works or not. But imagine if you are developing something quite complex and varying the parameters amount to changes that you don't expect because you are not involved in the logic, then it can be really bad for you. So you should always keep yourself involved in the overall design process and at least have a high level overview of how the parametric workflow is working. So yes, that was it for today's video. I hope you found it insightful. You should try out Ant if you haven't already. and feel free to send me any feedback, and have a nice day. See you.